Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a big one, a really practical question. How do I actually get fluent in a language without, paying for a subscription?
It's the question everyone asks. So we did the legwork. We sifted through all the expert reviews, PCMag, Wirecutter, CNET, to find the best, truly free language learning apps for 2025.
And our mission here is really specific, right? We're looking for a shortcut for you, focusing only on apps where a paywall doesn't just, completely block your progress.
Exactly. Because look, every major app has a premium version. We found the sixth where the free tier is strong enough to genuinely propel you forward on its own.
That phrase, genuinely propel you forward, that's everything. But before we get to the list, we have to start with the one thing every single source agreed on. The non-negotiable truth.
Yes, and it's that no app is a magic wand. It's just not going to make you fluent overnight.
So what does it take?
It really comes down to two things. First, you need consistent daily practice. We're talking 15, maybe 30 minutes a day. And second, you have to get some real-world exposure.
So the apps are basically accelerators.
Precisely. The ones we're covering work so well because they use things like gamification and really good structured lessons to help you lock in vocabulary and grammar and, speaking skills way faster than if you were just doing it alone.
Okay, so we've got our 6 best tools. And instead of just ranking them 1 to 6, we decided to organize them in a way that makes more sense for a learner.
Right. Think of it as a roadmap. First, you build the habit, then you acquire a ton of vocabulary, and finally, you actually apply it and start getting feedback.
I love that. It's a logical progression.
Follow this path, and you'll get the absolute most out of the free versions. So let's kick things off at the beginning, building that daily habit.
And if you are a brand new beginner, just starting out, the sources are completely unanimous on this one. You have to start with Duolingo.
Oh, absolutely.
It's still the most fun and effective free starting point in 2025. It just gets you going right away.
Yeah. Duolingo is still the champ for beginners. It's best for one thing, establishing that daily routine. For free, you're getting full access to courses in over 40 languages. You get the games, the stories, the podcasts.
But what about the heart system? I hear people complain about that all the time. It feels limiting.
It can be, but there's a workaround. You can usually just watch a quick ad to get unlimited hearts for a practice session, so it's not really a hard paywall.
So what's the deep insight here? Why is it so good at just building the habit?
It's all about the psychology, really.
Oh.
It uses these addictive, bite-sized games and, of course, the streak to make you feel like you have to practice. It's like a quest in a video game.
Right.
And the core idea is that consistency is so much more important than intensity. If Duolingo can just trick you into opening the app for 5 minutes every day, you've already won the first and most important battle.
That makes perfect sense. But okay, once you've got that habit down, you might notice that Duolingo is maybe a little slow for learning new words.
It can be, and that's when the experts say you should pivot to a more specialized tool, something like Drops.
Drops.
Yeah, Drops is fantastic because it's so focused. It knows exactly what it is. A rapid visual vocabulary builder. It's got over 50 languages.
And its key feature is what? A time limit.
Yes, a strict time limit, 5 to 10-minute daily sessions. It's all beautiful illustrations, and it is specifically designed to avoid overloading you with grammar.
Wait a minute. A time limit is a good thing. That just sounds counterintuitive, like it's stopping you from learning.
It sounds brutal, but it's actually brilliant. It forces you into these short, super focused bursts, and that is ideal for learning vocabulary quickly because it stops you from getting tired.
Ah, so you don't burn out.
Exactly. You spend 5 minutes just linking an image to a sound and a word. It's pure association, kind of like flashcards on steroids. The second you start to feel fatigued, the session's over, so you come back the next day totally fresh and ready to go again.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So once you've built the habit and you're building vocab, what's the next level?
The next challenge is making those words actually stick for the long term. And, understanding how real people actually use them in a conversation.
Which brings us to our next app, Memrise. This one gets mentioned all the time as the best free tool for retaining vocabulary and learning real-life phrases.
It's so good at this. It has about 20 core languages, plus hundreds more from these amazing user-made courses. The free features include flashcards, little memory tricks, and this is a crucial part, videos of native speakers.
Okay, tell me more about that. How do a few video clips make such a huge difference compared to just, a word on a screen?
Because context is everything for retention. Your brain is wired to remember things that feel relevant, that feel real.
Right.
Seeing and hearing a native speaker use a phrase in a normal situation, it makes that word stick so much faster than just repeating it from a list. It helps your conversational speed because you're learning the intonation and the usage, not just the definition.
That is fascinating. Okay, so moving from the more fun, video-based approach to what the sources call the tool for the true language power user. Let's talk about Anki.
Anki, yes. It's not pretty like Drops, and it's not a game like Duolingo, but the science behind it is just undeniable.
So what is it exactly?
Anki is basically the ultimate flashcard system. It's built on something called spaced repetition. It's free on desktop and Android, fully customizable, and you can download these massive language decks that other users have already made.
It sounds a bit technical, maybe even intimidating. If I'm already using Duolingo and Memrise, why would I even bother with a tool like Anki? What's the big payoff here?
The payoff is pure efficiency and volume. The core idea is the spaced repetition system, or SRS. So instead of you reviewing words randomly, the app's algorithm tracks exactly when you're about to forget a word.
And it shows it to you right at that perfect moment.
Exactly, just before it slips from your memory. And the research on this is clear. This technique allows serious learners to remember over 90% of words long term.
90%, wow.
Yeah, it's the difference between just casually learning and like high-speed acquisition. You can reach an intermediate vocabulary level in just a few months.
Okay, so if Anki is for the solo power user, what's next? What about the big gap that most learners face? Actually talking to people and getting feedback.
That is the conceptual bridge you have to cross, getting off that solo study island. And the next two apps are built for exactly that, moving from just input to actual output.
Let's start with Busuu. It's supposed to be great for structured lessons and getting feedback, and its free version is surprisingly generous.
It's amazing. You get full access to all 12 of their languages for free, and you get this phenomenal feature, community corrections on your writing and speaking exercises.
How does that work?
Busuu gives you these really clear grammar explanations. But then, and this is the key part, the free version lets you record yourself speaking or write a paragraph, and an actual native speaker will review it for you and give you corrections.
But wait, relying on strangers from a community for corrections, is that reliable? What's the quality control like?
It's surprisingly high quality, and that's because the whole system is reciprocal. So you're encouraged to correct people who are learning your native language.
So you're correcting English learners and French speakers are correcting your French.
Exactly. It creates this feedback loop that leads to much faster real-world improvement than a solo app because it forces you to produce language, and then that output gets checked immediately by someone who knows.
Okay, so let's talk about the ultimate accelerator. The sources all seem to be screaming that nothing, absolutely nothing, is faster than just talking to another human.
That brings us to HelloTalk and Tandem.
Right.
And these aren't really learning apps in the same way. They are pure language exchange platforms. They are built for speaking and conversation practice, and they support an incredible 150 plus languages.
And what do you get for free?
You get unlimited text, voice, and even video chat. Plus, there are built-in tools that make it really easy for the native speaker you're talking to correct your messages right there in the chat.
Okay, but this sounds incredibly intimidating, especially for a beginner who just got started with Duolingo.
It is intimidating, but it's also essential. This is instant, real-person practice. All the vocabulary you learn in Drops and the grammar from Busuu, it gets stress-tested immediately in a real conversation.
So it's the final step.
It's the step that turns understanding into speaking. The sources are unanimous. Nothing makes you learn to speak faster than chatting daily with natives. If you want to go from I understand French to I speak French, this is how you do it.
So just to recap, we have 6 incredible, truly free tools. Duolingo for habit, Drops, Memrise, Anki for vocabulary, and then Busuu and HelloTalk for application. But the big strategy here isn't to just pick one.
That's the first key takeaway. Combination is key. None of these is a silver bullet on its own. If you only use Duolingo, you'll hit a wall. If you only use Anki, you'll be able to read, but you won't be able to speak. You have to combine them.
So give us the dream team. What's the ideal combination the experts recommend?
Okay. You use Duolingo or Busuu for your base, for grammar and structure. Then you layer on Drops or Memrise for that rapid contextual vocabulary. And crucially, you integrate HelloTalk or Tandem from pretty early on for immediate speaking practice.
That covers all the bases: listening, reading, writing, and speaking.
Exactly. You're leveraging the best free feature from each platform.
And the second strategy, this is the one that really separates the people who succeed from everyone else. Consistency over cramming.
Absolutely. It is so tempting to just try and do a 2-hour session on a Saturday, but all the research shows that's not how our brains work best.
Why is that?
It's about memory consolidation. Your brain moves information from short-term to long-term memory while you sleep. So a short, consistent 15 or 20 minutes every day gives your brain constant reinforcement. It literally makes the memory stronger. It's so much more effective than a huge cramming session once a week.
Okay, beyond the apps themselves, the third strategy is supplementation.
Yes. Use the apps to get the foundation, but then you have to immerse yourself in actual media.
Right.
Integrate the language into what you already do. Watch Netflix or YouTube in your target language with the subtitles on. Even if you only understand a little bit at first, it's training your ear. Listen to podcasts. Many of these apps, like Duolingo, even have their own podcasts now.
So start small.
Exactly! Follow a cooking channel on YouTube that's in your target language, or, change the language setting on your phone. Little things add up.
And finally, a really great piece of tactical advice. Avoiding burnout. Because, let's be honest, the free versions rely on ads and hearts, and sometimes it just gets annoying.
This is such a critical point. If the ads in Duolingo are driving you crazy, and eventually they probably will, don't quit learning the language, just switch the app.
Right.
The sources specifically mention that Memrise and Busuu often feel less restrictive in their free modes. They're a great escape route if you hit a frustration wall on another platform. The goal is to keep your momentum going, even if you have to change cars.
So at the end of the day, we've covered 6 powerful tools. All on iOS and Android, mostly work offline, 0 cost to get started. You have this massive wealth of structured, free knowledge right at your fingertips.
And if we synthesize this whole deep dive, the roadmap is crystal clear. If you're brand new, start with the fun and the habit building of Duolingo. But as soon as you are past the absolute basics, you need to branch out. To Anki for vocabulary volume, and to Busuu or HelloTalk for real-world application.
So you now have a custom structured roadmap for using the best free resources in 2025 to hit your language goals fast. You know which tool to use for which skill.
But let's leave you with one final provocative thought to chew on. We've established that the fastest way to learn is by chatting every day with native speakers on apps like HelloTalk, which support over 150 languages.
Which means there's almost certainly someone out there right now learning your language.
Exactly. So if that's the ultimate measure of success, what's one small, non-app step you could take today to bring that real-world exposure into your life? Could you find a subreddit in your target language? Could you order your coffee using just one phrase you learned? The idea is to think outside the app and into the world.
That's a great challenge. We hope this deep dive helps you unlock a new language this year. Until next time.